ministers establish accountability partnership relationships with others in the ministry?
I think that that's very important. One of the things that I've battled with, though, is that the kingdom, and as you were saying, for me, what I've learned, and I've had to learn this in a challenging way, is that the kingdom is larger than the church. And so sometimes we think that it's just church, but that'll give you a deficit in the end. Like, I've got people that I know now that are bankers. I know people that are educators. One of my professors was a Greek, and his name is, I like languages. So he my second semester of Greek with this guy, his name was Konstios Hippocrates. And Konstios Hippocrates, he says, Lejean, let me tell you, he says, the problem in the church is that we do not know the biblical language. So I'm listening to him. He said, this is why so many denominations, this is why so many different people misinterpret the Bible. They do not know the language. So what I learned is that, again, as you said, he added value in an area that I did not. How many of us speak Greek as a native language? We just don't. But the Bible was written in this is one of the languages that was written. I've got another friend, I think you guys, probably you met, he's a Messianic Jewish rabbi. So when I have a Hebrew question, I call him. I'm like, hey, listen, how do you say this in Hebrew? What does this really mean? And I said that to say that sometimes our differences can also be strengths to us because everybody may not do it like we do it. Everybody may not see it like we see it. And sometimes we'll associate with people who are just like us. And that's a problem, because then we don't have anybody who adds value in an area that we're not strong in. I was hearing a young man who was talking the other day. I think it was Oral Roberts that he was talking about. He said that Oral Roberts was sitting there and he was having a big press conference, and he said there was a couple of guys in the audience that were asking him questions just like this. And it was funny because he answered one question. He said, well, what do you think about this? Or I said, well, I don't really have the answer to that. And he said, hold on, but my accountant is sitting right over there. And you give me the answer to that, and you tell them what they're trying to ask. And then a few minutes later, ask him another question. He said, well, I don't have the answer to that. He said, but my attorney is sitting right there, and he'll answer that one for you. And then a few minutes later, the man he said, well, do you know anything? He said, no, I don't have to know everything. He said, well, I got people that are helping me. So, it just works like this. I'm just saying that to say that just as much as we have to have ministerial people that, you got to know that their character is good, but everybody may not be, because as you said, I've had people who are outside of Christianity who have blessed my ministry and businesses more. I've had some Jews, come on, I've had some Muslims, I know that sounds crazy, but I've had some Muslims who are so into Christian functions more than some Christians have. I've had some of my Caucasian brothers who are so into businesses and ministries more than some of my African American brothers have. So I'm just saying, you got to deal with other people outside of just ministry circles, because sometimes we get focused just on church. Other pastors, other leaders. But what about the banker who can help you sign that loan to get your money together? What about the accountant that you really need to get your stuff together? What about the mayor? What about other people? And again, you were saying that's a part of, I guess, what God has given me. Well, just to be able to connect people. I got a friend he's Assemblies of God, but he's a Korean full gospel Baptist pastor, full gospel pastor. He don't even speak English in his services. He speaks Korean, so that's why he didn't come to the thing, because he was like, well, I don't know what they're saying, and they don't know what I'm saying, But he's got his doctorate in ministry. So I'm just saying, you got to get with other people, strategic partnerships, people with good spirits. But like they said, when we all first met, one of the things was making sure again, because whoever you associate with, you become assimilated with, and then if they are not right, then you're gonna have a problem. So I agree with what Apostle Mark said. Apostle Boyd always says that when we talk just about how he appreciates the fact that myself and my wife, we love each other. Because you got some married folks that you don't ever see them. You don't see their wife. I got a friend of mine I've known for 2 years. I've never seen his wife. And so I don't trust him around mine. I'm just being honest. I never see their wife. I'm all with my wife. I like my wife. I enjoy being with mine. I don't want to see you with yours. You know what I'm saying? And so for 2 years I've seen I've never met your wife. And in ministry, you got members in your church that say, well, you never met you. That's a problem. And so, that's a problem. I like being with my wife. We work together, we go to school together, we don't do anything that we don't do together. This morning, the only reason she wasn't here, my father-in-law was here, so she was doing some stuff with him, but she's still doing ministry. But most of the time when you see me, you see see my wife, don't you? I don't care where I am, you see her. So I'm just saying that to say, you got to find people that have like minds and like hearts, but don't exclude yourself from other people who can add value to your life.